Dinanam anukampaya Mitrya chevatma kleshu Yamena niyamena cha Mahatam bahumanena Dinanam anukampaya Mitra chevatmatuleshu Yamena niyamena cha Mahatam bahumanena Dinanam anukampaya Mitra chevatmatuleshu Yamena niyamena cha. Can someone try? Ladies, Mataji's, anyone? Anyone else? Okay. Word for word translation and translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Confounded Acharya Srila Abhacha Navinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Mahatam, the great souls. Bahumanena, with great respect. Dinanam, to the poor. Anukampaya, with compassion. Maitreya, with friendship. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Atmatulyeshu, to persons who are equals. Yamina, with control of the senses. Niyamena, with regulations. Cha, also. Translation. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals. But all his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of the senses. Please kindly respond. Repeat. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals. But all his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of the senses. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, it is clearly stated that one should execute devotional service and advance and impart of spiritual knowledge by accepting the Acharya. Acharya Upasana. One should worship an Acharya, a spiritual master, who knows things as they are. The spiritual master must be in the disciplic succession from Krishna. The predecessors of the spiritual master are his spiritual master, his grand spiritual master, his great grand spiritual master, and so on, who form the disciplic succession of acharyas. It is recommended herewith that all the acharyas be given the highest respect. It is stated, Guru Shu Naramati. Guru Shu means unto the acharyas, and Naramati means thinking like a common man. To think of the Vaishnavas, the devotees, as belonging to a particular caste or community, to think of the acharyas as ordinary men, or to think of the deity in the temple as being made of stone, wood, or metal, is condemned. Niyamena, one should offer the greatest respect to the acharyas according to the standard regulations. A devotee should also be compassionate to the poor. This does not refer to those who are poverty-stricken materially. According to devotional vision, a man is poor if he is not in Krishna consciousness. A man who may be very rich materially, but if he is not Krishna conscious, he is considered poor. On the other hand, many acharyas, such as Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, used to live beneath trees every night. Superficially, it appeared that they were poverty-stricken. But from their writings, we can understand that in spiritual life, they were the richest personalities. A devotee shows compassion to the poor, to those poor souls who are wanting in spiritual knowledge, by enlightening them in order to elevate them to Krishna consciousness. That is one of the duties of a devotee. He should also make friendship with persons who are on an equal level with himself, or who have the same understanding that he does. For a devotee, there is no point of making friendship with ordinary persons. He should make friendship with other devotees so that by discussing among themselves, they may elevate one another on the path of spiritual understanding. This is called Ishta Gosti. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a reference to Bodhayamta Parasparam, discussing among themselves. Generally, pure devotees utilize their valuable time in chanting and discussing various activities of Lord Krishna or Lord Chaitanya amongst themselves. There are innumerable books such as the Puranas, Mahabharata, the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Upanishads, which contain countless subjects for discussion among the devotees among. Friendship should be cemented between persons with mutual interest and understanding. Such persons are said to be Swajati, of the same caste. The devotee should avoid a person whose character is not fixed in his standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna. If his character is not correctly representative, then he should be avoided. One should steadily control the senses and the mind and strictly follow the rules and regulations. And he should make friendship with persons of the same standard. Om Agyana Tiganasya Gyanajana Salakaya Saksolameta Yena Tasmai Se Gurave Namaha Sichetanya Manobista Sta Fetam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupam Kadamaya Dadati Swa Padantika Vandasi Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Kodadaya Puspavanto Chita Chandatamona Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vicharana Nemesis Soyamvari Pasato Desatara Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadatara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama So, welcome everyone. I don't remember the year I came to this temple last. It's been a very long time. But I appreciate the work that is going on, the devotees who have come together to support this construction project. It takes a lot of energies in bringing about a fruitful project like temple construction. And one of the secrets is that the devotees, especially the core devotees who are on the project, they have to be able to put Krishna at the center. And in that way, things could really come pretty easy than even anticipated. So, we'd like to thank all of you for coming. Today is a working day, so you could have perhaps very important things to do, but you're choosing the part of coming to listen to the Bhagavatam or coming to the morning program. And in this very specific text, it's talking about Yama, and Niyama. You know, sometimes we may go to the extreme of just preaching Yama and Niyama only. But the center of even Yama and Niyama is Krishna. And therefore, if we forget the goal and we just show people that, hey, I'm better than you, I'm very regulated. I control my senses. And you are not. You are in Maya. And then the purpose of the preaching is defeated. I remember in America, Ravindra Swarup, he mentioned to us, in those days we used to have devotee scholars coming together, devotee scholars conference. So I remember we were in New Vrindavan, and Ravindra Swarup is a doctor. He did his PhD in one of the universities in Pennsylvania. So he was telling us when he was doing his PhD, when he used to come to the temple, he was having with his present wife, and when they come, and one of the things that really got him a little bit, repugnant, was the way that the devotees were preaching. You know what people don't like. You see, people are not able to control the senses, but if you begin to point at their face, you're not controlling your senses. You're not regulated. We're not going to make friends. And some people may even stop coming. Some people may even stop coming. And therefore, even preaching is an art. And we need to learn the art of preaching. The whole idea of preaching, setting up temples, a gigantic project is coming up here. And the idea is to be able to attract people. People are lost. There are lost souls out there. Krishna's prodigal children. They sway from the path. And with the understanding that everyone is actually part of Krishna's big family. Mama Evam So, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhutta Sanatana. Every one of us is part of that family, the Krishna family, the big tree. So a number of people have swayed from that path. They become prodigal children. You can have a child and you may be very rich, a multi-billionaire, and some of the kids, they are very ungrateful. One day they walk out of the house and never to come back. You have all the money. Yeah. It happens, okay. Especially in the hippie culture. There were some of those kids that were like that. It's not that they became hippies because they don't have anything to eat. No, they had everything. But it's just a counterculture. And therefore, the specific instructions here is for the pure devotee. And pure devotee means anyone who is actually preaching the cult of Bhakti. We may not be pure now, but you are on the path, and so eventually you become pure. So this instruction is for all of us, those of us who are helping to spread the message of Godhead. And so we should be friendly with each other. I remember I was traveling in the US, so I went to the West Coast. At one of these places I went, so we had some program. And then after the program, I was speaking with the people one-on-one. And I saw this young man, a white guy, and we were discussing. He said he was living in the temple as a brahmachari, but he left. Why he left? Who can tell us the reason why he left? Can someone guess the reason why he left? Not what? Not adjusting with the devotees. That's a good point, but can someone else add some? Yeah, that's it. He said he had no friends. So he left. He had no relationships with any of the devotees. So he left. People don't want to be isolated. We are social animals. We want relationships. And therefore, Rupa Goswami specifically mentions that one of those advantageous values is that we create relationships. And he gave us also the scientific approach to creating sustainable relationships in our devotional communities. We should be good listeners. We should also have confidence in people. But how can you have confidence in people if you don't get close to them? And how can you get close to somebody when there is no friendship? If we are just after our 108 rounds japa and we don't have a relationship, we will end up losing so many devotees in our temples in due course of time. And it's already happening. We have the highest philosophy that is based on love. But now how many people in our communities that they have problems in their families, that they will call someone, their friend, and say, I have a problem in my family. My wife said I should get out from the house. In America, it does happen. If you mess up, the wife will tell you, give you one small suitcase and say, all right, check out. I'll call you back when I need you. And so, if that happens, do you have someone to call in the community to say, hey, Prabhu, I have a problem. So can I come to hang out with you? Do we have people like that, that we really have some strong connections, that if there is an emergency, we can call to say, can I come hang out with you? I have a problem in my family. Most of us don't have. Sorry to say this. But you know what I'm talking about. We don't have strong connections in our communities in most cases. And the relationship is just official relationship. Jai Prabhu, Jai Maharaj, and Jai this. And that's it. You know, so when people ask me to come to the temples, even in America, I remember I went to New Vrindavan one time. And my Guru Maharaj used to go there and stay for a long time. So when I went to New Vrindavan in America, and after the Bhagavatam class, you know, some proper disciples were saying, oh, your Guru Maharaj used to come and stay here for a long time. You don't come. I said, I don't come because I don't have any friend here. They were shocked. I said that on the answer. I don't mix words. Okay? So I go to places, I don't travel traditionally, I don't travel around like the traditional Swamis do. But I go to temples where I have a friend, where I have a relationship with somebody. Because I'm not very much interested in this Jai Maharaj business. Why would you gain from that? So when I mentioned that in the open, that because I don't have any friends here, so I don't come to your community and stay. I can come maybe one day and then leave. So then after the class, this proper disciple and his wife, they came to invite me. Jai. They came to invite me for lunch to their home. So I honored it. So when I went after the lunch, they said, Maharaj, you are our friend now. So you come to New Vrindavan. It just makes sense because official relations, if you are not friendly even with your own child, they will not tell you what is going on with your lives. If the relationship is official, you can't extract anything from anybody. Nobody will reveal to you. Nobody will confide into you what they are passing through if there is no cordial relationship, there is no friendship. So, in a big community like this, we need the devotees, we need relationships. We need friendly relationships. Even in our families, we need friendly relationships. In fact, a husband and wife is a relationship based on companionship. It's not that somebody is a slave to the other person. And you have this mentality of my spouse is my servant. They may not tell you, but at the back of their mind, they're thinking, look at this person. So, we have to understand that Krishna consciousness is about viewing each and every one as a spirit soul. And trying to love each and every one the way we will love Krishna. How would you love somebody and disregard their child? Say you love Modi and you don't really have a regard for Modi's child. Doesn't make any sense. You say, Modi, I love you. Prime Minister Modi, I love you. But his son comes around and you don't care. Now, the reverse is the case. Suppose you don't even have a relationship with Modi, and you have a very strong relationship with his friend, with his son. The son will take you right to his father. Oh yeah. That is the power of friendly relationships. If we have friendly relationship with our children, now, in most cases, people don't even know how to become friendly with their children. At best, we like to be order givers. And it doesn't always work, especially when the child attains the age of puberty. They expect us to be loving and friendly. Friendliness and love has to be incorporated with the parenthood, with the parenting. Otherwise, the relationship will freak out. And I've seen so many cases, not only in a movement, even outside. It's a general problem, it's a general disease. In general, we don't understand child psychology, we don't understand child development. Sometimes we just have plenty of money and we get married and we settle down, we produce children, and we don't know how to deal with them at every stage of their lives. So we may make many devotees, we may preach and then get many devotees to come. They are initiating a spiritual positive change in their lives. The question is how to be able to lead that change to a successful conclusion. And one of the prime factors is that the environment is friendly. If the environment is friendly, they can have the zeal to share their challenges with someone they trust. So, I mean, Prabhupada mentioned very cogent points. But the points Prabhupada made in the purport are not just only to the pure devotee. It's to everyone who is a preacher. Everyone who is trying to help in spreading the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to cultivate ways of how to reach out to people, how to just call someone to ask how they are doing. It creates an impact on their life. I remember I was in Michigan some years ago in America, and then one of these boys, this young Indian boy, he just finished his master's. So they were very friendly oriented, so we are discussing. And then when I left their temple, I think I was in another continent. So I just called him to ask how he's doing and all these things. And he was so much taken aback. He was so surprised. And when I went back to America, he paid my ticket to come to the Ratha Yatra. So I went, but when I went, I chastised him. I said, see, you just started work, and you're using the money to buy me a ticket. You should have told the temple would have purchased the ticket. Why you have to be wasting your money? And you know what he told me? He said, Maharaj, you don't know what you have done to me. I said, what did I do to you? He said, you were in another continent. You called me just to ask me how I was doing. He said, even my parents in India, they don't do that. They only call me for money. So there are simple strategies on how to create congenial relationships in our communities. And if we don't create those type of good, love and able relationships, people may not stay for long. They stay at some point in time, they are dry, they don't have friends, they don't have someone to share what is disturbing them. They have accomplishment, they don't have someone to share the accomplishment, because when you have even accomplishment, you share your accomplishment with your friends, that happiness is magnified. If you have some challenges, you share your challenges with your confidant, that challenge, the trauma that comes with that challenge is diminished to almost half. This is the whole thing about psychotherapy. It's not that they give you such a big medicine. It's just that you are sharing your experiences and they're giving you advice step by step on what to do, and you should have been like this, now you do it like this. They don't give you medicines. The confidential relations that is sustained is what helps you to understand or to appreciate the fact that here is somebody who loves me. So yeah, we have to take these little points very, very closely. The whole idea Prabhupada was mentioning in the Prabhupada is that the preachers, they have to be exemplary. We have to be exemplary. Acharya Upasana. We have to be exemplary. We should walk our talk. They say in America, walk your talk. You say one thing, let that be reflected in our own lives. People read our books, people read Prabhupada's books. When they come to our temples, they want to see how the tradition of Prabhupada's teachings is reflected in the lives of the devotees living in his communities. One of those things that Prabhupada used in conquering, capturing so many Westerners was his love, his caring attitude, his sharing. And Prabhupada, when he was in 26 Second Avenue for his regular Bhagavad Gita classes in the evening, all of these hippies, bohemians, and potheads will come. But after the class, if even he has one apple, he will slide this apple into pieces and give to each and everybody. That's called love. You don't wait until when you're a multi-billionaire before you say, let me help somebody. If even you're poor, we can show that love. And so people want to see how our lives are the living scriptures. Again, people want to see how our lives are the living scriptures. So they read the books, they want to make some comparisons, see how the books, the teachings in Prabhupada's books are reflected in our dealings with each other. And of course, Yama and Niyama, they are very important, because the main problems of this world, even sociological or even crime, is due to, inability to control the senses. Yeah. Adanta Gobi, Vishita, Tamishra. Now this very concept, or this very construct, is also reflected in criminology literature. The very general theory of crime is about Adanta Gobi, Vishita, Tamishra. Yeah. It's just that they polish it in a scientific way and put it in a scientific language. But the research is simply based on Adanta Gobi, Vishita, Tamishra. Uncontrolled senses causes crime, causes all types of antisocial behavior. And therefore, in the purport, Prabhupada is emphasizing this, the spiritual master must execute devotional service with controlled senses, with regulations. And we are worshipping Krishna on the basis of regulative principles. Even our sadhana is based on regulative principles. We have to wake up every day. I don't know what time the devotees wake up here, but when we join, 3 o'clock, the bell goes, and everybody must get up. And sometimes people come on Sunday feast, and they see how the feast is so marvelous, and they decide, all right, I want to be devoted. And then the president says, all right, come for some weekends and stay, see what we are doing. And some people, they come for the 1 weekend, and then 3 o'clock the bell goes, and then they have to wake up. They say, what? But nothing good comes easy. And so Yama and Niyama, they are there, but they have not the goal. They are facilitators for a positive change. Sustain devotional culture. Otherwise, we get involved into a devotional bankruptcy, and then there we have all type of problems. And so it is important to recognize the fact that everyone in this world is poor. Prabhupada said, someone being poor means he's devoid of Krishna consciousness. No Krishna. That means he or she is poverty stricken. And majority of people out there, they are poor. Based on this definition, majority of people out there, they are poor. Now, what is the population of, practicing devotees? The Papa also mentioned that one may even be a Vaishnava, but is he practicing? Is he a practitioner? There are two different things. It's like you went to medical school, or you went to law school, you got a degree in law. You're called a lawyer. But you are not a legal practitioner. You go to medical school, you got a degree in medicine, you're not practicing, you're not called a medical practitioner. Is that correct? So you may be a Vaishnava, you may be born in a Vaishnava family. Are you practicing? So that emphasis is also laid here in the purport. We have to understand the difference. And Prabhupada says, such a person we have to avoid by all means. Yeah, they are Vaishnavas, but they are not practicing. What to do? So we should not endanger our lives. And therefore, it's so stunning that, our scriptures are very people-oriented. They don't say something strange or abstract. They say the things that you can relate with. And therefore the Vedic literatures, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, people who are studying these literatures, they have that broad-mindedness to be able to appreciate other people. They may not be devotees, but then they appreciate others and they listen to them. People want to see how we listen to them. Not we force them to sit down, then we talk, and they should listen. People don't want that. They want to see, you love me, listen to me. Oh yeah. So even as preachers, you may find somebody who is talking, but if you listen to them and appreciate what they have, and you add something to their lives, that will make them to be appreciative and be friendly. But if we attack them, it will be the end of the game. So we have to culture loving attitude towards people, friendly attitude towards people, because we are preachers. We want people in a movement. And so, to be poor in itself is not something that someone desires. Poverty, spiritual poverty or devotional bankruptcy is due to bad samskaras. And so we have to build up our spiritual devotional heritage through the practice of sadhana. And we have all of these wonderful books, all of the wonderful association of the devotees and the acharyas. It's emphasized in this text, the pure devotee must have full respect for the spiritual master. That is even emphasized for the pure devotee. Not to speak of anyone else. Because each morning we sing, Yasa Prasadam Bhagavat Prasadam, Yasa Prasadam Nangati Kutopi. This is the reason we need to develop that culture of respect towards the spiritual master, towards our authorities, towards anybody at all. Because if we don't respect the people around us, or say, I respect my guru very much and I come to be offensive to everybody else, that is worse than death. And some people have this type of mentality of thinking, well, guru gave me instructions, execute my guru's instruction. Everybody else, I'm disrespectful to them because I did what my guru told me. That is suicide. That is very, very suicidal. Because if even you offend any devotee around you, you get some terrible reactions. It's not that we disobey the spiritual master and then we don't attain pure love for Krishna. But if even we hurt any devotee around us, it has a serious negative effect on our bhakti. And so let's not create a heaven of foolishness or heaven of devotional bankruptcy in our devotional communities. And we can easily do that by being hurtful to each other, by being violent to each other. See, the amazing thing is that we tend to be not violent even to the animals, right? That's why we don't eat meat, not violence. But we can be violent to other devotees. Because each time we hurt somebody, we are violent to that person. So each time we offend another devotee, we are breaking one of the principles, no meat eating. We are breaking that. We may not eat gross meat, but it's the same principle, non-violence. We hurt somebody. But if we are culturing love, hurt becomes completely something in the waste bin. You love somebody, you will not want to hurt them. You will always be meticulous to see that you act according to their needs. And so the pure devotee must be in a position to be friendly with other peers. And the same thing is applicable to everyone else. Now we have to be friendly with other devotees. If we don't know how to be friendly, we should cultivate it. It's an art. Friendliness is an art. We have to cultivate it. If even you just pick up a message, or you just write a message to your friend just to ask, how are you doing, Prabhu, today? How is your family doing? It creates a different dimension to your relationship. We should not wait until we want money for the temple, then we call somebody. Or you want to engage me, then you call me. These are practical things, right? Big philosophy is one thing. Let's talk about the practical things on the ground. So the bottom line is that everybody in our movement is very important. We don't know who is who. Someone may just come today, and we have been there for 50 years, and we may think that they're just, canisters. We don't know who is who. And so we should extend our compassion to everyone who comes around us. And the greatest compassion is to spread the holy names of Lord Krishna. Any comments or questions? Yes.
Brahmacharya, what?
What's the question? What's the question? Yes, ask him. Let him ask. What is it?
His question was out of context.
Okay. Brahmachari did what? Yeah, you can ask anything. Let him ask. Yes, Brahmachari did what?
Brahmacharya life kya hai? What is Brahmacharya life?
What is Brahmachari life?
For married life, for bachelor life?
See, Lord Chaitanya said he's not a Brahmachari, he's not a Grihastha, he's not any of the social and spiritual systems, Varnas and ashrams. He's not that. He's what? Dasa, Dasa, Anudasa. So, we should not worry ourselves with the ashram. The pure devotees, they don't worry about the ashram. Krishna is after our heart. Krishna is trying to check whether we are reserving something for ourselves or we are giving everything to him. It doesn't matter whether you are putting on a saffron cloth or not. I tell you a story. In the Mukta Charita, there is this wonderful narration about the pearls pastime. So Krishna I sent a message. I had gone to meet the gopis. There was a festival going that was to take place in Govardhan, a Deepa Malika festival. And so the Brajabasis, we are preparing to go for that festival. So we are preparing in a very gorgeous, preparing for gorgeous appearances and all this. So Krishna had from one of his parrots that the gopis are also preparing, and they are stringing all these wonderful pearls. So Krishna went there to plead for some pearls for him to use in decorating his cows. And when he made that proposal, Lalita spoke up on behalf of the gopis. He said, Krishna, these pearls are supposed to be for the queen's wife. I mean the king's wife, the queen, to put on. And you are asking us to give you to decorate your cows. So Krishna literally like, I hear you. Now, you will not have to regard me as being miserly. So Krishna went back. He went to meet his mother and said, Janani, give me pears. I want to make a garden of pears. So the mother was surprised. What? Pears don't grow from the ground. But Krishna, agitated, he was pushing. So the mother gave him The mother gave him and brought a lot of pears to him. So he went to develop like 3 gardens by the bank of the Jamuna near Guhan Ghat. And then he fenced around. Then as he was cultivating this garden, the gopis heard of it, so they came by. And they just looked at him and all his workers, and they busted out laughing. Krishna just tried to control himself and ignore the laughter from these gopis. But in 3 days' time, those gardens, the pears in those gardens have sprung up and they're flourishing, and the whole of Vrindavan was booming with the scent of these pears. So the news went around. And the gopis also thought, we saw him when he was making these gardens. We can also do the same thing. Because he will never give us. If we go to beg him, he will never give us. Because he came to beg us for pears to decorate his car. We never gave it to him. So he's not going to give us anyway. So they also decided to gather all the pears from their homes and then come to make garden. But what sprang up was sticker bushes. So but then Krishna had that news, and then just to make jest of them, he sent one of his friends to go to the gopis and said, my dear gopis, since you are my very good friends, you're my lovers, and I heard that you're making a garden of pearls, and your pearls have grown, and so I've been your lover and your friend. I should think that it would be good that, the first harvest should be given to me. He was just being sarcastic because, the gopis were miserly. Listen, the bottom line of this story is miserliness. Not giving to Krishna. So someone may put on a saffron cloth. Is he giving everything to Krishna? So the gopis, they were a little bit miserly. So Krishna taught them a lesson. So he went to make a garden of pearls, produce so many pearls. The gopis came begging. Because now they've exhausted all the pearls in their homes on this garden, which was deadlock. So Krishna started dribbling the gopis back and forth. And Subal was, like liaising and begging Krishna to help out the gopis. They are devotees. Don't say because they were miserly and you just turn your back to them and all those things. So the question is, it's not the ashram. Are we miserly? Or we are giving everything to Krishna? Therefore, Lord Chaitanya mentioned that Lord Chaitanya did not identify with the ashrams or the varnas. He says he is dasa anu das. Because what is important is our love towards Krishna. So forget about the classification of caste or varna or ashram. Okay? The important thing is how to develop love for Krishna. You want to be a brahmachari? No problem. You can be. But again, we should not think that because we're brahmacharis, we are superior to the people who are not brahmacharis. The churches, associates of Lord Chaitanya, they were all grihastas. But they were perfected souls. They were pure devotees. Okay? All right. Any other comments? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Maharaj, there is one statement which says that someone is poor when one is not Krishna consciousness.
Not me. That's what Prabhupada said in the pulpit.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, the spiritual well-being of a person, does it mean that material well-being is being taken care of automatically?
What is that?
When someone is spiritually well-being, is well spiritually, does that automatically means he is materially also well maintained? Or doesn't take care of material because he is now spiritual?
Now, thank you. Now, the point is that it's been recommended that in the Upanishads, specifically, it's recommended that we should tread on 2 rails. On science, that means devotional culture, nation's professional development. And so, what most people don't seem to reckon with is the importance of integrating both. So if you are trying to be spiritual, and if even you become a pure devotee, you can be better off in terms of your preaching if you have good material skills. If you have good material skills, you can be. Bhakti Siddhanta was just a big scholar. Now nobody dared to try to approach him. He would defeat everybody. And so, in those days in India, if you defeat anybody, they become your disciples. They become your disciples. And he was so powerful, so powerfully charged. And so, yeah, if you please Krishna, if you become a pure devotee, all of that will find in the case of Prabhupada, just to answer your question. Prabhupada was facing a lot of difficulties in his pharmaceutical business. But then, he executed the order of his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta, to go to the West, to preach the Krishna consciousness to the Western people. And look at all of the material facilities that also came along with that. He had temples all over the world. He had disciples all over the world. So, important thing is that if you become a devotee, everything else is available to you. But we should not think, well, I mean, it's like somebody, a child was born, and this couple, a girl for that matter, this couple brought the girl to Gitanagri in America and said that they want the girl in America, they want the girl to be a gopi. It's to be a cowhead boy, a cowhead girl. So I thought, what the hell you are talking about? The mother is an IT professional. The father, the whole of his family, they are medical doctors. I said, you come from this background, and this poor girl, you want to dump him on the farm. No skills, no education. But why, if it is to be a cowhead girl is so great, so good, why don't you be? I said, get out from this place and go and prepare to train this girl in devotional values and secular education. So sometimes we may miscue what is embedded in the scriptures, and we want to take just one rail instead of going on the two rails of science and nations. Yet, if you become a pure devotee, everything, you turn Krishna Prema, you don't have any business in this world. Everything is available at your disposal. Okay. Any other question? Last question? It's already past 9.
Hare Krishna Maharaji, Pranam, Dhanat Pranam. How to develop a friendly relationship with authority and equals?
How to do what?
How to develop friendly relationship with equals and authority?
See, it is mentioned in the purport here that our equals, we should develop friendly relationships. Our equals. For even the pure devotee, they are equals, they should develop friendly relationships. Now, for higher personalities, we should develop an attitude of service orientation towards them. And for those who are, so to say, so-called genius, we should be caring. We should be available to help them. We should be proactive to their needs. Yeah. But in all cases, there is a good, cordial relationship. We develop loving relationship. Rupa Goswami mentions, what are the factors he mentioned about? Speaking in English, what is it?
Giving and taking.
Accepting, giving. We learn to give charity to devotees. If you love somebody, you want to give something. If you love somebody, when they offer you something, you want to take. If you love somebody, you want to hear when they have something to tell you. You don't tell them, I'm very busy, I'm very busy. If you love somebody, you want to confide in them. your challenges. So those things are documented in the Parisamrita. Yeah. How to develop friendliness and loving relationship. Yeah, it's a process of giving and taking, hearing, listening, and confiding, etc. Yes, any other last question?
Maharaji.
Why is so far away?
Maharaj, you are translating in translation.
Oh, acha. Okay.
So,
Bolo.
so I had one question, Maharaji. First of all, I like to thank you so much. We are really grateful personally for such a wonderful class you gave. Maharaji, one question I had is like when we are in such a position that we have to take care of different devotees who are junior to us, but they came in Krishna consciousness late. So sometime we have to set some rules and regulations because every time the person is not self-inspired. So we are trying to help him to come to bhakti. So in that sense we have to do some strictness also, set some rules and regulations. Sometimes we may have to chastise also. So how to balance this and at the same time maintain good relation and that love and care, environment of love and care, how to do this, Maharaji?
Yeah, thank you very much. We should not try to avoid chastise somebody who is our elder in devotional service. See, even you asked a very important question, and this very point has caused some distrust in our temples. Because the people who have been there before us, they expect that we honor them, we respect them. Yes, they are not in position, but they are not expecting us to go and chastise them. See, I remember I was traveling in America, and one of Prabhupada's disciples, I'm not a Prabhupada disciple, I'm a second generation guy. So one of Prabhupada's disciples, he came to me, he said, tell me, anywhere you want to go, I'll drive you. I said, please, Prabhu, I cannot do that because you are in the position of my guru. I should honor you, respect you, and everything. He said, no, I am giving you my services. I said, why? I am not in position to receive any of such service from you because I should honor you, respect you, and serve you. You are my spiritual uncle. So he went arguing back and forth. So, the point is that when people see how we are living our lives, this is exactly what he told me. He said, see, my God brothers, they come here. I never went to tell them this. You know what he said? Other gurus and swamis, his own God brother, they come to their temple. He never went to them to tell them this. But he said, I came to you to tell you for one reason. You are different. You are down to earth. You play around with people. You're friendly. People don't want authorities. Get this point. We hate authorities. Even your 2 years old son or daughter, you ask them, hey, Govinda, sit down there. That's the time Govinda will stand up. He will show you that, no, I am here to resist your orders. We don't like chastisement. We don't like orders. What we like is love, affection, friendly relationship. And when we lovingly dispose and affectionately dispose, people will just naturally act according to the standard norms that we have set. And if even they are not able to meet with the standard norms, we should first call them privately to speak with them in a loving, friendly way. Imagine you have an uncle and his behavior does not meet with your requirements. Do you go to chastise him? No. Either you tell your father to speak with him. In other words, if someone is older to you in devotional service, and if even you are in authority, they do something you don't like, the best you could do is to send someone who is his senior or his equal to speak with him. Because we don't like authority. I remember, see, when I was a temple president, and the former president was also living in that temple, he was there in that temple, and I will always even give lamp, I will always want, ask the person who is passing the give lamp to give it to him first. But then sometimes he says, no, you give it to him. It's better than we claiming that because we have the power, we are superior. Because we have the power, we can chastise. Because the power will not be in power for the rest of our devotional life anyway. The power, position is a temporary thing. And we may be very good devotees, and this is to everybody. We may be very Paka devotees, very friendly, very loving. But when we get some position of power, that is when our real nature will come out. Therefore, we have to be very careful in managing our urges. Rupa Goswami says, watch your wegam, manasa kroda. Watch your wegam. What we say matters a lot. How we say it matters a lot. Someone may act in ways that we get upset. Now I have this formula, I can give it to you. Someone may act in ways that we are not happy with. First of all, that is a challenge to us. Because Lord Krishna says, Tam Titikshaswa Bharata. It's a challenge to us. We have to deal with that exam that is put before us. We have to pass that exam. When our temper calms down, then we can approach that person in a loving way to explain or to seek out clarification about why they did what they did, how they come about that, and if there is anything that they feel that you do wrong, you're not doing improper, that they think you could adjust yourself to be able to suit their purpose. See, management is a complex thing. A majority of our managers in ISKCON, they are not trained. They don't have skills in management. I'm sorry to say that. I studied management science at the PhD level, and I see so many anomalies in our movement. Yeah. We should have to close it here because the time is going. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj ki jai.
Krishna, we are very thankful and grateful to His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Maharaj for spending some time with us and sharing very, very practical, very, the DNA of what devotee really needs in and out, day in, day out. So we are very thankful to Maharaj for sharing these words of wisdom with us. And we'll request Maharaj to please frequently visit us and kind of keep reminding us of this important thing. Thank you very much, Maharaj. His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Maharaj ki. So we all will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra thanking Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
हरे कृष्ण। संदीप हरे कृष्ण। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचाने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य स्थान श्री रघुवत की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तिवृंद की जय। नहीं
सवाल करने समय करने वाले निकल जाते हैं।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare